What's up, Beasts? Bob here with brotherhoodofbeasts.com, ChristopherBobRoberts.com, and today we are going to be talking about when to launch a preemptive strike. A preemptive strike is basically a sucker punch, but when a good guy does it, to avoid being attacked by a bad guy, okay? Because the fact of the matter is, the first blow thrown in a street fight usually lands, and the first blow that lands usually knocks the person out. That's why you see a whole lot of one-punch knockouts in street fights as opposed to a competition situation where it's like, are you ready? Are you ready? Fight. And everybody comes out in their fighting stances all tensed and ready for a fight. What happens a lot in street fights are two guys are arguing, one guy's talking shit, and the other person just throws a punch before that guy knows he's even in a fight. He's just standing there talking, and next thing you know, a blow he doesn't see hits him, knocks him out, he's on the ground, okay? It could be a punch, it could be a headbutt. The bottom line is the first person to attack before the fight is officially started usually wins, and you want that to be you. So the question is, when do you launch a preemptive strike as a means of self-defense? Well, first of all, you need to realize that there is no such thing as verbal de-escalation, okay? You cannot, if a person truly wants to fight you, you cannot say or do anything that will make him change his mind. If he truly wants to beat your ass, it's gonna happen. He's gonna attack you. The only time that verbal de-escalation comes into play is when the other person does not really want to fight, okay? I've seen this a million times working as a bouncer, and that's the only way I was able to stop fights when I was alone, okay? I was working alone and there was nobody else around and I had to stop a fight between two people. I'd be running forward and I would see who really wants to fight, who's being aggressive, and who doesn't want to fight but maybe doesn't want to back down, okay? Or he has to defend himself, okay? So I would immediately grab the aggressive guy, drag him away, and the person who didn't really want to fight would be standing there glad that the other guy's getting dragged away. If I had grabbed the guy who's being passive, who's defending himself, the other person who wants to fight would hit him, would hit me while I'm dragging the passive, the defensive guy out, okay? So this certainly 100% works. Now, in a situation where you may be confronted by someone who may attack you, you put something out, okay? Some verbal de-escalation. You put something out and you see how he responds. So let's say maybe something happens in a bar or a discotheque, or maybe we're on the street and I bump into a guy, or he bumps into me, but he blames me for having bumped into him. What you do is you try to de-escalate. You apologize, you get your hands up, you act passive, you say, hey, I'm sorry, okay? Whether it's your fault or not, you take the blame, you apologize, and you start to walk away, okay? You do not want any problems. Now, if he does not want to fight, and he just wants you to look like a bitch, you're looking like a bitch. If he wants to look like the big man, he's looking like the big man, okay? And you will tell that because as you say that, you talk in a way that you are shrinking away from a fight, and he will talk in a way that will be taunting you. So yeah, man, I'll bet you're fucking sorry. Get your sorry ass out of here, man. Don't fucking turn around. Keep going, okay? If I walk away, if I step back, don't turn around, but if I step backwards, he'll be like, yeah, man, get the fuck out of here, man. Don't let me fucking see you again, okay? Because he is allowing me to leave. I did not de-escalate the situation or change his mind. I was just testing to see if he really wants to fight or not. And in this situation, he doesn't really want to fight. He just wants to look tough. Now, let's say on the other hand, same situation, I apologize, and the guy's like, fuck you're sorry. Fuck you're sorry. I don't give a fuck if you're sorry. I start stepping backwards away from him. He starts stepping towards me. Fuck you going, man. I ain't done with you. Where the fuck you going? Okay? So basically, I am speaking in a way that I'm shrinking away from a fight, and he is pursuing me verbally. Okay? I'm sorry. He doesn't give a fuck if I'm sorry. I'm leaving. This ain't over. Okay? I am literally physically stepping back. He's literally physically stepping forward towards me. This guy wants to fight. There is no way that he is not going to fight. I cannot get out of the situation without being in a fight. The question is, am I going to survive or am I going to get my ass beat, possibly injured, possibly killed? So the only way out, now that I've proven to myself that there's no way out of here without a fight, is I have to attack first, okay? Remember, the first blow thrown usually lands. The first blow that lands usually knocks the person out and ends the fight, okay? So I need to throw the good guy version of a sucker punch called a preemptive strike. And how you do this, you need to have something prepared. It could be a headbutt in certain situations. Headbutt will knock a person out immediately. First of all, it will knock a person out. Second, the person usually slams his skull against the ground because he falls directly backwards when it happens. So he slams his skull against the pavement, which is sometimes even worse than the headbutt that knocked him out in the first place.
Whoa! What? Yeah, don't punch him,
That number one. Another one that's really good is a sucker punch. Okay, there's a guy who was an English bouncer, very intelligent person. He was really into like philosophy and just like the theory behind being a bouncer. And he wrote a book called The Door. No, it was Watch My Back, I think is what it was called. Watch My Back. And he had a hook punch. He just practiced this hook punch. And he knew that he could stand in a normal position, throw the hook punch without warning, without telegraphing it. It would always land, and if it landed, it would knock the guy out, okay? So he had this hook punch. Try to de-escalate, it doesn't work, knock him out with a hook punch. I personally like what I call the Y hand. You see I'm making like a Y with my hand, okay? If you hit a guy like right underneath the Adam's apple in the windpipe with this, it's basically like a punch, but you just slam in, okay, with the Y hand against the guy's neck. He's gonna start choking, he's gonna start gagging, he may start vomiting, it may knock him on his ass. The point is, if you come in with this, you can follow up with a place kick to his fucking nutsack that he will not see coming. He won't be able to turn away from it. He won't be expecting it, so it'll hurt that much worse, okay? You could follow up with other strikes. You could run if he's really incapacitated by that first Y hand. But the bottom line is you need to have something ready to go in case you have to initiate, okay? Because like I said, the moment that somebody goes ahead and starts throwing blows at you, first of all, you probably ain't gonna see him coming because you ain't gonna know you're in a fight yet. And second, that's when it becomes a fair fight. And trust me, I've seen a lot of fights as a bouncer. You do not ever, ever, ever want to be in a fair fight on the street. Anyway, if you're interested in this, go to ChristopherBobRoberts.com. Check out my self-defense street fighting course and Street Fighting's Mental Edge. If you really want to learn about this stuff, go to brotherhoodofbeasts.com to check out my group coaching program. I already have the entire self-defense street fighting curriculum in it. I already have Street Fighting's Mental Edge in it, and I'm putting in other videos like this one that go into depth in certain areas of, in this case, situational awareness. Aside from that, appreciate you guys watching the video. Subscribe if you haven't. I will see you in the next video.